Wolfhard group in just a moment. And then he's going to introduce everyone, and we're going to have a good time. Remember what I said earlier, though, guys. No season 2 questions. We're under contract, no season 2. Season 1, all your guys'. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the shadow puppets for just a moment. Yeah. All right. So, without any further ado, it is my pleasure to bring to you, put your hands together, let me hear you clap, scream, and shout for Mr. Michael Axler from the East Coast Horror Group. Mikey, hey!
What's up, Atlanta? Nice full panel room for the Stranger Things panel. I'm going to bring up my partner of East Coast Horror Group, Mr. Drew Seidler. Put your hands together for him. All right, let's get this panel started. Let's start out, let's bring out Noah. Up next, Gaten. Last but certainly not least, Caleb.
Our daughter.
My brother.
Well, guys, thank you for taking some time out to speak with us. First, I want to talk about your SAG Award for Best Ensemble Cast. Talk about what that experience was like, if you could.
Well, it was just so awesome, just the rush of them calling our name out. Like, they didn't even finish saying Stranger Things. They said, Stranger Things! Yeah! And it was, we thought we were going to lose because of the great competition that we had out there. It was The Crown, Game of Thrones, Westworld, all of the great competitions. But then we heard Stranger Things. It was just like so crazy. And the thing that really got us is when we went backstage and they said we can have one, we can each get a SAG award. And it was just, what?
I jumped very high.
Yeah.
There's a picture of you, like,
This
in
picture,
midair.
like, yeah, there.
I think he jumped higher than I've seen any basketball player ever jump. Because I don't think he even knew that he had the ability. I think it's just like that adrenaline rush thing where it's like, I'm pretty sure if he was really trying, he could have went through the ceiling.
Yep.
I think it was super unexpected. They were like, The Crown, and it was like, oh my god. And then they were like, Game of Thrones. I was like, oh, alright. And then I looked at Natalia, I looked at Molly, I'm like, alright guys, I'm going to sleep. And then I dozed my head off, and I was like, I don't like that. And they're like, Stranger Things. And I was like,
All I heard was string. And then,
Yeah.
and it was like a
They're like,
string.
So, since probably The Goonies, I don't think I've ever seen a young cast have such chemistry and so much charm. What do you guys think contributed to that? Did you guys know each other beforehand? What happened when you guys first got together?
Well, I actually knew Gaten before all of this. I was on Broadway, I was in The Lion King, and he was in Les Mis. So yeah, we were Broadway buddies. And I think also just all of us having great personalities and we were just so open to yeah, I definitely have great no, they're like great people and we're just so different in our own ways and just be connected in like geek ways, like we're all nerds inside.
We just all really, it's kind of lucky because it's not always in projects, a lot of kids don't really get along. I think we just all got really lucky because everyone gets along. I think the Duffers were like, because like, it really shows up on camera when you like each other in real life. And I think that's really what they focused on, like, really more than anything, is the chemistry between the kids. In the audition, they made sure that the kids got along before they cast them, because if kids don't get along in shows or anything really, it's just like, it's not fun to work. And I think the Duffers know that when you have fun working, it just makes a better show. So I think that it's great that we get along because it makes the show that we make.
Oh. Sorry, spaced out. I don't know how to finish this because you said exactly what I was going to say. So I think initially when we all met, I guess we sort of clicked. I met Gaten in the waiting room. Like, it sounds like a hospital. I met Gaten in like the waiting room of the audition, like the first audition where we had to like rehearse before. So there's like a rehearsal to the audition. So we went to this studio that they were working at the time, and I met Gaten in the waiting room. Like, I just saw him, I was sitting across the room, and Gaten just kept smiling at me. And I was like, cool guy. Yeah, it was weird. And then Caleb came in first. I think Caleb was just like so cool. He was just so like yeah, not like way back, but he was just so like he was like, let's do the scene, like totally just so energetic and like made me so comfortable. And then Gaten came in after that and just was like,
And I made it very uncomfortable. That's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, you guys said everything I would have said, but I knew none of them before this. So I met Caleb at the pool.
See,
when-
I'm the one that, like, you know, I grew up with.
Yeah, Caleb. Yeah, and honestly, I think they were just looking, like Gaten said, they were looking for the best chemistry, and I guess we all just get along perfectly, which is great.
Yeah.
So let's just go down the line now and kind of go back a little bit. How did you guys all get involved in acting? What made you want to pursue that?
Well, it's a long story. I'm gonna just cut it short though. But when I was in school, I'm still in school, but I'm in school now. But my sister actually introduced me to this community theater in my neighborhood. We did. It's called High Piper, and I wanted to just do that because she was really good, and I was like, seems pretty cool, seems pretty fun. Then Lion King came up. I really wanted to be Simba. I auditioned, and I got it, and I just thought to myself, I was like, I really want to pursue my career in this acting thing. So that's what I started.
Well, I had no idea what acting was when I started. My sister, I was like 7 years old, and my sister started, she's a phenomenal singer, but she just started singing and acting, and she wanted to do it professionally, so she went to the showcase in New York, and me and my brother went there with her, and my brother was 6 and I was 7, and she did the showcase to try and find a manager and an agent, and when people started talking to her, a lot of them asked me and my brother if we wanted to do this, and my brother said no. And I said, yeah, totally. Because I wanted to be like my big sister. And then I started going on auditions after that, and now I'm here. After a few years, which is pretty lucky, I guess. I mean, yeah, it is. It's really just like, it's exciting, and that's really, it just happened kind of like out of nowhere for me. Like I didn't even like expect it to happen, and it did, so it's great.
I watched a lot of movies, like growing up. I watched so initially my dad was a screenwriter, and it's like super hard to, sell scripts if any of you guys know. But he would sort of watch a lot of movies to get inspiration, I guess. He we're huge movie buffs, and so I'd sort of sneak in while my dad was watching movies. So I'd sort of watch how he acted when he watched his movies. So I watched my dad watch movies is basically what I'm trying to say. So trying to cut around that. But so I watched a lot of movies, and then I just sort of really clicked with film, and I really wanted to do film. And initially I started doing these like awful, terrible short films that were made, and I thought they were amazing at the time, and I like made them on like iMovie with like an iPod, and I just sort of wanted, and my dad sort of was like, hey, I started doing improv classes, and I was like, hey, he was like, hey, you're super into this now, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, do you want to start acting? And I said, yeah, and we were trying to figure out how to get a part, and they're gonna stay with me. I got my first part on Craigslist. See, everyone laughs at that. I knew that's what so I said it.
That's why.
I know it's funny. So, but it's not sketchy. It's not sketchy. No, like it's not sketchy if you go on for like. That's not true. I was lucky. I was just lucky with Craigslist. That's what I'm trying to say. So it was for this music video for and I remember my dad. We were on the way. Sorry, this is super long, but I'll finish it super quick. Anyways, I ended up the first thing I ever auditioned for was this music video, and I ended up I got it. The first thing I ever auditioned for. Yeah, it was, and then after that I was just sort of hooked, and I just wanted to keep doing it. And then I did Craigslist auditions for about 6 months after that, and then yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep this short. So I just remember I kind of agree with Gaten too. I honestly didn't know what acting was, but until I got into it, I remember I was like 5, 6 years old, and I would go to these Broadway shows, and I remember like feeling this oomph or this urge to be on that stage, to be up there, and I don't know. I started taking these local classes, small little classes like in my neighborhood, and then my instructor told me I was good enough, and she put me in front of a manager, and then I went from there. I got a little commercial, I got this meatball voiceover, and then they were good meatballs. And then I don't know. I just went from there, and this is kind of out of the blue, but it's pretty cool.
As a follow-up to that, specifically regarding the Stranger Things product, how did you guys get involved with that, the Duffer Brothers?
Well, I didn't know who the Duffer Brothers was, who the Duffer Brothers were. And, sorry, but once I found out about Stranger Things, actually it was called Montauk at first. Montauk? Yeah, so that's what, it took place in Long Island. And I just looked them up, and they gave us a little clip from certain movies to show us how Stranger Things was gonna be like. Huh? Wait, I know one was Jaws. It was a whole thing, yes. Okay. Yeah, so yeah.
Well, can you repeat the question?
How did you guys get involved specifically in Stranger Things?
Okay, so at first I heard, I don't know if this is like true or not, but I heard it was just gonna be like a mini series. It was like, it was just supposed to be like this mini series, and it was just an audition. Like they were auditioning a lot of kids, and I got this script that didn't even make it to the category. What do they call the script?
Dummy sides.
Dummy sides. And so I get a script like that, and I was going in for Dustin, and when I saw the script, there was only like 2 Dustin lines. And they were like, what? And what are you talking about? The 2 lines. And so they're like, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to memorize the Lucas sides. And I did, and they're like, okay, so you're going to read the Lucas sides. I'm like, yes. But, yeah, I know, right? But, and then after that, I got a call back, and I went to call back another scene from Stand By Me, which was awesome. And then I got a call saying that the Duffer Brothers wanted to Skype with me. And I'm like, who are the Duffer Brothers? What are they doing? They said that they directed like a few episodes of Wayward Pines, and
They wrote.
they wrote, and they had made the movie Hidden, and I was like, okay, cool. I didn't know what they were. So then they Skyped with me, and I was on the Skype call, and they were just talking about what they were doing with the show, and what they wanted to do, and how they wanted to bring back the 80s, but put like a twist on it, and like have it like really just bring people back in their childhood, to have kids like it too. I'm like, that sounds great, let's do it. Yeah. I love letters to the 80s, yeah, but I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So then I went to the final call back in LA where I met him, and where I saw him. I don't think I saw you there. No, but then I found out like afterwards that you had gotten. I'm like, hey, it's Katie. And then I met you there, and so that's how I met the Duffers on the Skype call.
So how I got in this is that it wasn't an open casting call. It was on this site called Actors Access, which is sort of, if you have like an agent, you can log in and then you can see open casting calls on there. And so at that time, I was considering quitting acting because I had gotten a part and it had fallen through and it had never happened to me before, and I was like devastated. I was like, I'm not going to do acting. This is what happens every time. And I was so like weird about it. Yeah, I was like so down, and I did not want to do acting. And I remember I was sick one day, I was sick one day, and my dad was like, "Hey, let's do this audition for this thing called Montauk. Here, I'll show you this." And it was this weird like Vimeo on-demand thing where you had to click it and then do a password together. And I was like, "What is this?" And it was from like like you said, it was a bunch of movies. It was like Let Me In. A lot of the stuff, like a mini trailer.
Which actually was pretty like true
It was,
to what the show was.
yeah, it was like very similar.
Yeah.
It was weird how similar it was. But I saw that and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I remember I did the audition sick in bed, and my dad's like finger was in the frame, and like it was like out of focus. And I didn't get a call for like a week, and then the Duffer Brothers wanted to Skype with me, and then we didn't even talk about the part. We were just like talking about movies. They were just like, what kind of movies do you like? And then we just talked about movies for like an hour. And then at the end, they were just like, hey, so you want to do this? And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, come to LA, and we'll do these, like, you'll chemistry with a bunch of people. I'm like, okay. So they sent me on a plane. First time I had ever gotten, like, first class, like, business class. I was like, what? And I got, like, free stuff. Like, I was, like, so, it was so rad. And
I was in the back of the plane. And there was this guy who was like standing in line, and he was there the whole plane, the whole flight. Business class?
I got business class. I don't know how. Anyways. So, I'll sum this up. I went to LA, and then I met Gaten, and I had test read with 2 or 3 other 11s. And then I remember like there was a couple of people, and then Millie came in, and I met Millie, and then Gaten came in, and then Caleb came in.
I scared Millie.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I said hi, Millie, in my loud, obnoxious Gaten voice, and she seemed scared of me. It was awesome.
So basically, what ended up happening is, so I went there, and then I did the read, and I came back, and then they Skyped with me again, and they were like, come to LA again, and then I came to LA again, and it was sort of like a second call back. And I waited for like 3 months, and I didn't hear anything, so I just like, alright, whatever, like, nothing happened with it. So I just like had like my own summer or whatever. And then I got this.
On the drive back from the airport.
Dude, he got it so fast.
So quick.
So fast. Only Dustin too. He was the only Dustin that ever auditioned, which is amazing. So basically what ended up happening is I woke up, like I got this like frantic like text from my mom that was like, check your phone right now. And I was like, I don't have my phone. Like I ended up dropping it in the pool. I was like, I destroyed my phone.
How'd
I
you get your
can't.
mom's text?
My dad's phone.
Oh, your
And so he was like, she's like, answer the phone right now. And so I got this call. I went downstairs and I was like, hello. It's like, hey, it's Matt Duffer. I'm like, oh, hey man, what's up? And he's like, we're at the Atlanta airport right now. And I'm like, oh, cool. What's going on? And he's like, I just woken up and it was like 1 p.m. and I was like so groggy. He was like, we just wanted to let you know that that you're gonna be in the show, like you're gonna be Mike. I was like, whoa. And he's like, you don't sound that excited. It was just like settling in. It hasn't really settled in. It's my 2 years.
We don't
Yeah,
know if
that's
it
it.
ever will.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I remember it was kind of like Finn. I really didn't feel well. I had a really bad headache. And I did this self-tape at home. And it was like a really crappy, bad one. in front of in my living room with my sister crying in the background. and it was, I'm just gonna tell you, it was really bad. And somehow I got a call back a little bit later, and then it went from there. And then I remember they called me to go to LA, and I sat in the back of the plane.
Sorry, geez.
Yeah, we will. And then I met Caleb at the hotel pool, and we just hung out. I remember meeting Gaten at the studio. He just walked down the hallway. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" And that's how I remember meeting.
That's what I did to Millie, and she didn't like it.
You're like classic Dustin Smile. Yeah, that one. I don't know, and then it went from there, and I just remember going in with a few other people, and the wall was filled with these posters of the Goonies and what was it, E.T., Jaws, all those movies. Anyway, and then I go to summer camp in the summer. So it was 5 weeks into my camp, and we have 3 phone calls every summer, so it's my 3rd call, and they call me and they're like, "Hey, Noah, how are you?" I'm like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Matt Duffer," and I didn't remember him. So it was 5 months after this happened. So I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "You got the," and I originally auditioned for Mike, but I got Will. So he said, "You got the part for Will," and I'm like, "Awesome, this is so cool." And I jumped, and then it was on a conference call with my mom, and he hung up, and I was silent, and then we started freaking out, and it was really cool.
So obviously set in the 1980s, talk about seeing how low-tech that decade was. What were some of the things that surprised you guys the most, like Walkman, things like that? Were there any pieces of technology you guys just hadn't seen before?
Well, I've seen them. I've just never seen them in person or touched them, felt them, especially the pants that we wore. Oh my God!
Those are the
Even
worst.
they were the worst.
They didn't look great, but they hurt.
And then they gave us 80 tidy whities.
Oh yeah!
I don't wear them. They're
wear them
great.
ever.
Yeah.
Give them to me.
He's the only one who wears them. Thank you, Dean.
There's something I don't know the backstory behind it.
And then also when it's really hot outside, I don't really it's not even hot. With the pants it's on it feels breezy still. So that's the thing I like about it. The hairstyles. Yeah. Oh, and the heavy walkie-talkies. They're 5 pounds.
Dude,
They were small at the time, so it's kind of hard to wrap around it.
yeah, it was really hard.
Yeah.
To carry around.
Yeah, we did a whole scene. It's in episode 6, and it's before the bike chase with the vans. And that's 7.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. But it was a scene when there were a bunch of kids and I barge in on them in the bathroom, and then I say, and the whole mad hen line. And then I remember that whole time, the whole antenna thing, we had so much trouble with it because I kept hitting Millie in the face with it. And I didn't mean to. It was very stressful, and it kept hitting the ceiling, and it was a grand old time. Yeah, but also the corduroys, I love the corduroys because they're nice and warm. Yeah, and the hat was the best. I know people wear baseball caps nowadays. I see people with baseball cap, not the Dustin hats. But yeah, the hat was my favorite thing, even though it wasn't from the 80s. It's just a hat.
I don't really know what was 80s that. In my room I have a bunch of old 80s action figures, which was really cool because it's sort of a time warp. That's sort of I had a Walkman in my house, so there wasn't really anything that I was what? Millie hadn't seen a record player. And I'm like, that's just what? I've never seen one. They sell it at Urban Outfitters.
I get you.
It's an easy thing to see.
I get that you don't have one, but you've never seen one before?
What's this? That's not an excuse. Anyways.
That's it.
Honestly, probably I think the coolest thing was that when we played Dungeons and Dragons, all those. Yeah, I was like, guys, we're going Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, just every part of that game. It was, yeah, all the little mini figure things. Those were cool.
I want to get a beginner pack so I can play with
So I
these
can
guys.
actually
Yeah,
play.
I have one.
Because we haven't played.
I'm down to play. Let's play tomorrow.
Why have you not told me this? Hey, now we can play.
I would play tomorrow. 0.
Finn is the best DM of all time, by the way. If I had a DM like you when I was a kid, I never would have crawled out of my mother's basement.
Okay, I did not know how much like time and effort it went into being a DM. Like, you have to put in days of planning in order to, and it's like so much respect for dungeon masters out there. Yeah,
Like when I first
mastering the art.
went to set and I saw like the table, I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't really know what D&D was. I was like, oh, D&D, what's the line? Oh, okay. But then I just started learning about it. It was just so cool and just like, interesting. Like
Video game.
huh? Video game.
I'm not for it, but it's kind of like it. I forget what it's called.
We're showing off.
So, for each of you, what was the most difficult scene that you guys had to film?
All together or each?
I think we should individually.
I would say the scene where I was being the boss, the man, the compass scene.
Oh, the compass.
I was being the boss. I was like, no.
Were you get all
You're
in my
going up,
face?
like, all in the
Yeah, that
face.
was a hard scene.
Yeah, and then it was super cold out there. Like my hands,
So cold.
like I couldn't even feel my hands, but I was like, let's do this. But yeah, I made sure it was just that was probably like the most intense scene because I had to be like a really angry person and then a really bad person.
The hard scene for me was the scene by the quarry when the bullies are chasing me and Mike because first off, I don't run. It was cold outside, and third, I felt bad for Finn because he took a tumble. It was
It hurts so bad. There's no blooper reel. I don't know why they
They
haven't
just
released
destroyed
it.
that thing.
Okay, so basically what happened was they were chasing us down and I tripped on a rock and it was gravel, but it was frozen because it was so cold. And I skidded on the ground for like 2 feet, and I looked and my hand was just like, I still have a scar from it. My hand. Look at that.
Hi, Gaten.
It was like these lines here. But it basically scraped my skin off. And it hurt so bad. And I was like, it's fine, like, just keep filming, let's go. And, anyways.
And they told me, Gaten, run faster. I'm like, I can't. They had an athletic child behind me with a fake knife chasing me. It's like, I don't like it. And Finn is faster runner than me, and they're like, Gaten, keep up with Finn. It's like, well, tell him to slow down. I can't help you, man. I'm sorry.
He's like, crap. That's probably
Like, the whole scene, the cramp scene, everyone says, you did a great job on that.
That was
cramp
real.
line." There was like an actual line that we had to do, but I got a cramp while doing it. It was good for me. It was not good for me.
The most difficult scene that I had to film was all the crying stuff in 3 and 4, because I had never like cried on screen before. So I was like, how do I do this? And they introduced me to something called a menthol blower, where there are these little menthol like crystals in this blower, and they blow it into my eyes, so my eyes get super watered. And I remember there was this one scene where there's one scene at the end of is it 4, 3.
Scene by the lake when they find the fake body.
Yeah, but we find a fake body and I come back home.
Spoiler alert.
So I come back home and then that was super hard for me because I didn't know like how to cry. But I was getting more frustrated because I couldn't cry and that just made me cry more, which is like a vicious cycle. But it ended up working out.
I've never heard it described like that.
I definitely know my hardest one. It was in 8 when Hopper and Joyce were rescuing me, and we filmed it in this like tiny little library basement underground. So it was really stuffy, and I remember and when the tube was in my throat, they put me in this little like cabinet thing on a wall, and I sat on a stool, and then these guys came down with huge buckets of like poop, and they just poured it all over me. It was like freezing and sticky. It was so gross.
Why couldn't they have warmed it up?
Probably would have dried.
Yeah, that would have been worse.
Yeah, I've never seen in any movie a kid get punched back to life. Like, that was awesome.
That was so cool. He punched him back to life. Hopper's the best at punching.
Alrighty, we have some time to take some audience questions. Just please remember no season 2 questions, so raise your hand if you have a question for these guys.
I'm curious going forward, where you guys see yourself in the future? If anybody has any aspirations to direct or write or start your own production company, and specifically what genre are you interested in pursuing after this is all over? Maybe we don't ever want it to be over, but there is a future. You're all very young.
Well, I still see myself as an actor. I definitely want to produce all of that when I get older. Genres I'm going to be in, drama, action, or adventure. I always tell myself I always want to be like Superman, not Superman, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Marvel, so, yeah.
Alright, well, I've always been told that I'm a go with the flow kid, and I have no clue. But, I definitely enjoy what I'm doing right now. It's definitely getting me somewhere, especially since I can spread the word about cladocranial dysplasia. It helps me out with that. But, I guess, like, of course, I love acting. I think I'm going to keep doing that, but, you know, I'm always into trying new things, so who knows what's going to happen.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
it's coming.
It's coming. Like, who knows what's gonna happen? But I'm just gonna go with what happens, and I think that I'm gonna hopefully continue acting, and I'm gonna do some comedy. Like, that sounds like fun. Why not?
I sort of have an idea of what I want to do. Yeah. I want to direct really, really bad, and I think in the next year or two I'll have something out that I directed, which would be cool, like short film.
It's like a mini Sean Levy.
Seriously,
Directed it.
staying in high school.
He's like, it's
yeah,
so much
for
fun to
sure.
watch Sean Levy direct. It really is. Like, he's so into it, and Sean's so into it, which makes me get into it, which makes everyone get into it. So,
I'm into it.
yeah.
So yeah, direct something. I want to write, and then acting-wise, I want to do like a comedy, or I want to do like a super dark drama, which would be super cool. But the thing I was just asking myself is I would love to do a Broadway play, like or an off-Broadway play, like not like a musical, but like a play.
Broadway, maybe. Anybody like Broadway?
But I'd love to do like a drama or something like that.
Nice.
Cool.
Honestly, no one's really. I don't know where the future will take me, but I think if I wanted to have a specific role I'd like to play, it'd be like a very dark, creepy kind of abused kid, or maybe like that.
You're in your comfort zone.
Real life.
Yeah, and if all this doesn't work, maybe I'd like to be like a doctor or something like that. Anything. Yeah, sounds great.
Dr. Schnapp.
Dr. Schnapp, I snapped my back. Look at that. Sorry, that was the worst. Move on.
All right, you guys were talking about your horrible audition tapes that some of you had to record.
Yep.
Yeah, is there any chance we'll ever get to see any of those? Could they be released, or have they already?
Yeah.
I don't have it.
I do.
You have an audition.
I have my
For Stranger Things.
original.
Yeah, your well, I mean any of them really, but like specifically like your audition tapes that you did at home for Stranger Things. Like, when you say, you're talking about your sister's fingers in the frame and crying in the background, stuff like that. It would just be really cool for the fans to see stuff like that.
Well, at first, the audition tapes were dummy size.
Yeah, dummy size.
Well, yeah, I realize they're dummy sides, but it's not necessarily that it's about Stranger Things, but it's cool
more
to see
about
that side of you
community.
guys.
Yeah,
The real side of you.
My audition is like located on my dad's old iMac, and it's on like a super old version of iMovie. So
I don't know her.
I could totally upload it on YouTube. That'd be super
I think everyone here can really want to see that.
No, I went for figure an audition. I didn't say what? I did? She has it.
Alright, well, hopefully you guys will see that soon. It was a very cool, it's cool to see. I want to make a sort of montage of like all the auditions I've done. I like, from sort of like my evolution as an actor, that'd be super cool, because I have them all, so, I don't know. I was awful when I first started, so that would be really funny.
Self-encouragement.
Dude, wow, dude.
All right, guys, so my question isn't just for you guys, it's actually for everyone here. Today is Mike Exler's birthday. Would you guys help me sing happy birthday to him? Would you guys help me sing happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Reason. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you all for that. Don't forget to stop by and see these guys, get an autograph, talk to them. Give it up for the cast of Stranger Things. Hold on, wait a minute. You guys are done? It's up to you. If you guys are done, we're done. If you're not done, keep going.
Wait, really?
No, if you guys want to go another... We can go another... Wait, hold on. Actually, let me ask. Can we get another 10 minutes? Is it okay with you guys?
Let's get another 10 minutes. This is my favorite thing.
There you go. Hold on. I will say though, this is my 22nd Days of the Dead. We've never done an encore in a panel before.
The best part of Comic-Cons, the panels, because we get to talk to all of you guys.
Because we're actors, and we're full of ourselves.
So guys, with the chemistry that you guys have, how much did they let you go off script and just kind of use your own chemistry? Was there any scenes that got cut that you guys especially liked that you guys improv?
We have to beg them to also.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, because they one time I said, I don't even know what I said. It was just like you had to sing the. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's just like they're really particular, like to deliver the word, so everything in Stranger Things, you have to hear every little thing because everything connects.
It also
to the
depends-
next scene, and thank you for cutting me off.
It's okay.
Well, I think it's just like you said, a lot of times I like to change it up, there's a word in there that I'm like, maybe it'll sound better like this, and I'll say the word, and they're like, no, it's this word. I'm like, okay.
It depends how particular, it's written.
It's really important to the
Yeah.
plot, you know what you're saying.
There's this scene at the end where we do the last D&D scene, the last and where Lucas is dancing and he's saying Dustin farted or whatever, and that was improv. They were just do whatever because we didn't write anything specific in that scene.
At first, I was like, Dustin farted. Dustin farted.
It was
They're like, no, have fun with it.
It was
I'm like,
originally
"All right."
Dustin sharded, but they and then they ADR'd it. They voice overdubbed it because they were like, oh, no one said that in the 80s.
I really wish they kept Dustin Sharp.
Yeah, it's so much better.
He had that whole dance, and in the script, I don't know if you heard it, but they did this because when we were at this little kind of rundown amusement park in around here called Dixieland. We were on a zip line together. The lady hates it when I tell the story. But we were on a zip line together, and he's going down and the shriek that he. it's like you didn't even yell. It's like something like involuntarily, like there was like something hiding inside of it. It was just like yeah, just like came out. And they put that into the script in the last episode because they said that.
So too, and they're like, you know what? I'll put that in the script. And I was like, yeah.
Sure.
The last episode, when he's doing that, I have to go and put him in a headlock and give him a noogie, and he has to do the shriek. And I forget if it's in there. Does anybody recall hearing that shriek? Because I really hope. No, come on. Maybe. No, maybe. Like I really hope they put that shriek in there.
Wait, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, improv. Yeah, it depends if it's like written in the script, like specifically. If they haven't like written a lot of it, like it depends. Yeah, it depends if it's like not like if it's sort of not important, then they'll let us do whatever we want. Yeah.
I think it's the worst when it's like, I am going to go to the store. Like it's very like choppy, and like they do that a lot. They write it like I am going to do instead of I'm going to.
Go to the store, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The line, they're like, no, just make it natural. I'm like, no, it's sense.
Okay.
Supernatural guys. That was the point.
Yes.
Gaten, you mentioned a little bit earlier, and there's also a scene, obviously, in the show about awareness for a cause. Is there anywhere where we can go, or anything that we can see to learn more about that?
My dad knows a lot about this. No, I do.
www.mydad.
Hello, everybody. How we doing?
It's the other Gaten.
I'm the other Gaten. For those of you who aren't aware, Gaten has a condition called cleidochorial dysplasia. He was born without his collarbones. So we're trying to get established like a charity, because what happens is it's a lot of dental issues, and a lot of people, like 600 or 700 people in the United States that have this condition, and more that are worldwide. And what happens is insurance, the dental people will say it's medical, and the medical side will say it's dental, so nobody gets covered, and the bills can be, I've heard of people that have $30,000, $40,000 on bills just for his condition. So what we're trying to do is we have a doctor out in Utah that has started the whole foundation, and some of you are actually wearing some of his shirts, I believe, the emojis. We're going to be starting one of those again, and most of the proceeds will go to this. It's called CCD Smiles, and we should have it up and running within about a month or so. That's what we're hoping. So you can check this Facebook or Instagram.
Anybody? One more question before we're done.
This better be long, because I want to drag this up as long as possible.
So my question for everybody, what's your favorite movie and why?
It doesn't have to be 80s. It doesn't have to be 80s.
Whatever you think.
Wow. I know this one. Probably Saving Private Ryan. It's just such a tease, and the script is amazing and everything. It's just like, I of course like the reason because I had such an interest about learning about the Second World War in history class, and it just like intrigued me. It's like I just like to study it in that movie. I mean, I didn't know if it was realistic depiction of what it was, and then I found out that it was very realistic depiction of it. And of course, it makes me cry and it makes me feel sick every time I watch it. But it's just like you just watch it, and it's like it makes you feel like you know what happened, and it's like it's part of entertainment. But a lot of people say that entertainment is something to block out the bad things in the world. But that movie proves that it can also say this is what happened and we need to change it. So Saving Private Ryan is definitely got to be my favorite just because it shows how disgusting the world can be and how we can change it.
So this isn't gonna surprise people, but if anyone's seen La La Land yet, it's my favorite movie of the year for sure. That and like Arrival and Manchester by the Sea, but La La Land is great because it's not just a musical. Like it's a good movie on its own without the music. So if you can ever check that out, and then
The music's good too. So
this is very, very dark and very like disgusting, and it's called Train Spotting. This is why it's one of the best movies of all time. So it's a disgusting and awful portrayal of like the mid '80s and like in Scotland, and it's about these guys who have a heroin addiction and they don't care about anything but heroin, and they're just awful, awful people. And this is the reason why it's an amazing movie, is because no one tells a story about awful, awful people that have awful, awful addictions. And life isn't perfect, and people do get addicted to heroin, and they don't stop, and it's really bad, and it's really depressing, and like how it's portrayed is that he tries to get clean, but in the end he doesn't get clean, and that's what happens in the world, and it's sad and it's disgusting and brooding, but it's told so real and so humorous that you just have to like laugh about it, and you have to think of it as a I guess sort of a satire. But yeah, that's why.
Ooh, this is hard. I think I love this movie. It's called Castaway, and it's a really, it's so cool how a movie can be just so great and have so little dialogue, and I don't know, I find that really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for the entertainment. Everybody, give it up. Hey, don't forget to stop by the table, of course.
Alright, so I asked before how many of you guys were going by their table. Now let me see by show of hands. Who's going by their table now? That's right, guys. Make sure you come down, visit these guys at their table. Yes, guys, please be easy on the flash. It's very hard on the eyes and distracting.